Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is J Moore's the Review Guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one I'm going to be covering the new Siege Column record entitled Darkside Legions. Brand new record from the New Jersey duo Siege Column. Really want to drop this on your radar because I believe this band consistently slips through the cracks for metalheads aplenty. Want to say hells to my dude Schnell over at Vital Vinyl Vlog for turning me onto this band about a year or so ago. Saw his coverage of it, also saw a vlog where they opened up for a great host of bands. I remember they opened for Horrendous. That was one of the bands. That's a band I like, and I was just really excited that they were dropping a new record in 2020. So hells to Schnell for that. Done so much for underground music. Good on you, dude. Keep up what you're doing. So, falling in line with prior releases, Siege Column's sound mostly consists of a production that hangs low and does not ever come up for air. From the album art, to the logo, to the general sound, to the topic matter, everything about them is so influenced by old school death metal. Hell of a lot of Blasphemy influences. If you enjoy Fallen Angel of Doom, check this record out, or just check Siege Column out in general. It has the flair of many of the $20 spin bands that hang low in this creepy mixture of old school death metal with a really raw production style, very muddied production style, and other bands that aren't on $20 spin. I mean, bands like Witch Vomit, Tomb Mold, Mortiferum, Ascended Dead. If you're wanting comparisons sound-wise, all of those bands are very apt comparisons. Just like many sludge, stoner, and doom metal bands do for Black Sabbath, what Siege Column presents is a nostalgic trip. And they not once make any qualms about presenting a great intake of old school influence. These riffs are raw, the percussion is primal, the vocals are consistently deep and rumbling very, very, very fucking low without much alteration in technique, except this one thing that I noticed that they enjoy doing a lot, which is layering a guttural growl with a slightly higher guttural growl that is borderline shriek, but not so much. Not to mention, this record just never becomes very clean. It always stays so visceral, it stays so primitive in all of the best ways that a death metal band can be, but it is jarring because many of the old school death metal bands that they're paying heed to didn't even sound as raw and destructive as what they sound like, and many of the contemporaries that are playing in this old vein don't take it to this degree much. And it's no surprise that so many death metal bands enjoy playing this way. There's something devilish about the hellfire that is conjured up in these extreme compositions. The sheer savagery of feeling simultaneously unrestrained and completely controlled. While the instruments are not mind-blowing by any stretch of the imagination, and many moments on this record read to me as extremely derivative, that is to be expected, and I would be surprised if it didn't happen for a band and a style that is so enamored with the old school specifically. Hyper-focusing on one thing is only going to lead you to sound extremely hyper-focused on a certain sound, a certain technique, a certain composition, and I'm not going to say that they don't add in their own flavor, but it is completely evident that the more you know about old school death metal, as well as the contemporary scene that's taken so much inspiration from that timeline, you're gonna understand where they're coming from. But I will say one thing, I was super excited for this record, and it paid the absolute hell off. I genuinely believe Siege Column is one of the better bands that are playing in this vein with so much finesse, so much proficiency, and just prowess. The track listing is just very tight. It runs at 9 tracks, 36 minutes, so it just never becomes cumbersome, and while that doesn't leave any room whatsoever for error, it also lets them burst by tracks before they become tedious. There's not much monotony on this record, nothing that really leaves me scratching my head. I mean, many of these tracks do stand out from one another, surprisingly. They're idiosyncratic, difficult to decipher. Some of these tracks are downright just indiscernible in these quickened walls of percussion, walls of riffs. It is completely relentless, and while I do wish the production was turned up a tad, that's not for the sake of cleanliness whatsoever. I like my death metal to sound very raw. It's more so just to have a bit more breath and audibility in what they're doing. Either way though, check this record out. It really did pay off. Definitely up there with one of my favorite death metal records to drop this year. I was hoping Siege Column would pay off from their prior releases, and they absolutely did. Really suggest this record and really enjoying it. I'm going to be giving it an 8 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Siege Column record, Darkside Legions? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this record. I would love to discuss it with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.